Hello and welcome. I'm Pastor Dan Schrader. I'm the Bible study editor at Northwestern Publishing House. Joining me today is Professor Tom Kock, author of the Bible study Flowers in the Desert, Learning to Love the Prophets. Welcome, Professor Kock.
Thanks for having me.
Would you tell us how the name Flowers in the Desert fits what this Bible study is all about?
The Bible study, as its name implies, is about the Old Testament prophets. And the picture is that you're out walking through a desert, which is dry, barren, tough, rugged, but then all of a sudden there's a beautiful cactus or just a little patch of flowers that come bursting out. And because of the stark background, the beauty of the cactus or the beauty of the flowers just sort of jumps out at you. Similarly, in the Old Testament, the prophets, there's a lot of tough, difficult material, a lot of judgment being called down on nations, including God's own people. And yet, every once in a while, there are these beautiful gospel passages where God gives us a look into his heart of love, like a flower in the desert.
Great. And what are some interesting topics and features you think people enjoy in this study?
I think the biggest thing will be just that they'll get the opportunity to get to know a section of the Bible that they're probably not as familiar with. I would guess most people would probably find it pretty difficult to say, well, this is what Nahum is about, or this is what Habakkuk is about. So to get the opportunity to read through some of those books of the Bible and get a brief overview of those books, I think will be tremendously helpful.
Thank you. And those people who are in the Bible study will be using the book Flowers in the Desert by Bob Kester. Can you tell us a little bit some of the benefits that people enjoy while using the book with the Bible study?
I think the book will be a tremendous help. In fact, I don't know that you could do the Bible study without having the book because it's pretty well based on having the book and reading it. Pastor Kester gives a nice overview of the prophets and puts them in chronological order and gives you some background about what was going on in the Israelite history at that time, which led to the prophets writing what they wrote, which is very helpful in being able to understand what was going on at that time.
Good. And if someone does participate in the Flowers in the Desert Bible study, what benefits could you see them enjoying for their life as they go through this study?
Well, as I already mentioned, my first thought would be that they would just get to know a section of the Bible a whole lot better that they've not been perhaps as familiar with before. I think that's number one. Number two, though, is really valuable, and that's that you get an opportunity to see God being faithful. God was faithful to his people. He was faithful to his promises, even though God's people were struggling along. So as God was faithful to his people and promises in the past, God will be faithful to his people and his promises today. And finally, some of the most beautiful prophecies about Jesus the Savior are found in those Old Testament prophets. And so to have the opportunity to dig a little bit deeper into the setting of those prophecies, they'll get a chance to see their Savior even more clearly.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us an introduction to the Bible study Flowers in the Desert.
You're welcome.
We hope that you consider joining in this study. For more information about this study and other helpful resources, please visit Northwestern Publishing House website, nph.net. Thank you for watching.